Look at the bears. Look at the bears. You have any idea how tempted I am to get one of those bears tattooed on me? You know, I was talking to this other chick that I go to church with, and she's got tattoos. Our late priest was really against tattoos, but he was against a bunch of shit that wasn't in the Bible. But I guess you could say, well, you're defiling the temple. I mean, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is God doesn't care about petty shit. I mean, if you think about all the ways you can defile the temple, like a tattoo. I mean, I can understand why people don't like them. I can understand why people think that it's like a shitty thing to do to your body. But it's still your body, though, man. I mean, well, technically, you know, if you believe the body's a temple, that it's your body doesn't belong to you, it belongs to God. Like, yes, that's true. But I still don't think God gives a shit. You cannot convince me that God cares about shit like tattoos. I just don't believe in a petty God. I don't believe in a petty God. I think that pettiness is of the world. You think that if God sent his son to die, and his son's a representation of him, okay? And his son hung out with like all the sinners, all the people that all the religious zealots, the Jews, didn't want to hang out with, okay? But God's gonna be like, no, you don't get into heaven because you got a dead bear tattoo. I mean, that's a stupid tattoo. I realize that's a stupid tattoo. I really don't need to get that tattoo. If I'm going to get a tattoo, I really need to get something that actually means something to me. It's not somebody else's art, you know? And I'm pretty sure the dead bears are probably demonic in some kind of way. Look at them, though. Just look at them. I think they look pretty demonic. They're too happy. They're way too fucking happy. Look at them again. They're way too happy. Well, it's because they're on LSD. You know, that's why they're partying with Keasey. So, yeah. If I was a bear at a Grateful Dead concert and I took a bunch of drugs, I wouldn't care that they played feedback for 20 minutes. You know? I'd be fine with it. I'd still be happy and dancing and absolutely nothing. Or just totally in awe of the experience. You know? Yeah, I still want to do it though. I still want to do it. See, the girl that I'm talking about, she's married, she's got 2 kids, she's a really good mom, she's a really good wife, she's got good standing in the church. So it's like all the judgments that she is bound to receive are going to be from the world. They're going to be from people that hate tattoos, you know, not people that actually assess how she is as a person. Because a tattoo is not an accurate representation of who you are as a person, you know? That's just aesthetics. And Jesus told us not to focus on the outward appearance, because the outward appearance can be deceptive. I mean, I've met people with neck tattoos that aren't fucking stupid, okay? There's this dude that used to go to my church. I think he goes to another parish now, but he was a chanter. He had tattoos all over him. He had tattoos on his knuckles, everything. He also used to do a lot of cocaine. So, it's like people can't make bad decisions. But that's why you shouldn't look to the world to give you any kind of grace or understanding. You know, because that's not what the world is for. And, oh my gosh, was that me? That wasn't me. That was that van. At least I hope it wasn't me. Pretty sure it wasn't me. Anyway, y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that? Y'all hear these brakes? They need to be changed. How expensive is that going to be? Like $500? Something like that? I go to budget brakes, it's still going to be bad. I already know. That's what I need to do. I really need to do that on Wednesday. Anyway. Yeah, a lot of people are just really judgmental and not in a way that's good for society. Suicide! Sorry. Had to correct myself. I mean, I do it too, you know? I do it too. I know that I make statements that seem like they're real mean, but I don't mean... Okay, maybe I should put this on a poster. I never mean to be mean. That's just me. But I really don't. If I ever say something that comes across as mean, I don't mean it to be mean. Ever. Ever, ever, fucking ever. Like, you know, I talk shit about fat people. It's because I work at a restaurant, okay? I see fat people come in and out all fucking day. Alright? I've worked in restaurants for 20 fucking years. Low end. Okay? So it makes sense why they're fat, because of all the shitty food they eat on a regular basis. Because I see the same people over and over and over again. And you know, I pity them because they really can't control themselves. This food is really fucking addictive. I wish that more people were like mindful of things like, oh wow, they're trying to control us in this way. Maybe I shouldn't make it easy for them. You know? That's why I get so annoyed with the phones. But they're banking on the fact that people aren't conscious enough to do anything. You know? People are weak for the most part. They're very, very weak. And that's not me looking at them all haughty like, you weak little bitch. You know, that's not me doing that. That's me going, oh, you're weak. That's why you do it. You're weak. That's why they market this shit to you. Oh, you're weak. That's why you can't say no. And so I feel for them. At the same time, they do it to themselves. Multiple things can be true at the same time. You know? Going around another Kirby. Yeah, people that are caught up in one particular judgment, it's usually pretty hostile, it's usually pretty unsympathetic. It's because they can't recognize the fact that multiple things can be true at the same time. Okay, we're gonna park right here. That sounds bad, doesn't it? It's like you can make the decision to buy junk food. And you can also be addicted to that junk food. You know, like, okay, so with alcoholism, it's called a disease. I bet you they're probably going to start calling obesity a disease if it didn't offend people. So whenever people can use the word disease to play victim about it, then that's probably what they're going to do. That's probably how they're going to market it. But like, drugs are addictive, you know? Food can be a drug. Sex can be a drug. TV is a form of escapism, and escapism can be a drug. So, there are plenty of people that can eat fast food every once in a while. They're not addicted to it, just like there are people that can watch TV, even people that can watch some pornography. Not okay with this, but you know, I'm not going to deny that those types of people exist. It's very possible if you know yourself and you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. I don't watch porn anymore. I can't watch porn. I'm too obsessive. You know, that shit's so demonic anyway. I don't want to fuck with it. But like, I understand that there are people that could open themselves up to a demonic realm and not be taken in by it. So I think that all of these things will have their hooks in people that aren't aware of that demonic realm. And you know, because it's definitely a spiritual war, but it's not just about, you know, God and the devil and angels and demons and all this shit. It's about, you know, just trauma and boredom and insecurity. Top 3 reasons why people get addicted to things. It doesn't have to be that fucking deep. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I do think that a lot of this stuff was created with the sole intention of turning people into addicts. I mean, the fucking scroll. The person that invented that wanted it to resemble a slot machine. So yeah, that's an example of that. They're purposely putting shit in food to make it more addictive. Alcohol is like the only thing that they advertise. Drink responsibly. It's literally the only thing that can kill you that is advertised in a very responsible way. So what does that say about this world? But I can attest to the fact that it is some kind of disease. It's just not a disease. Like, it's weird. It's weird because, like, whenever I'd start drinking, like, I would have that craving and I wouldn't be able to stop once I started. But that mental obsession, that's the compulsive nature of it. So if you have that mental obsession with it, more than likely you're probably going to be obsessive about a bunch of other shit. And I know that I definitely am. But you're still accountable even if you're not responsible. So say you get drunk and get into a fight, you're still accountable for putting somebody in the hospital even if you're not technically responsible because you didn't remember because you were blacked out. It's like the thing with sex addiction too, like you're still accountable for cheating on your wife. You're still accountable for being addicted to porn. I don't know, that one's tricky though. That one's tricky. Because it's not like this physical addiction the way that alcohol and drugs are. But I don't know. I'm going to look more into that, though. You know we're going to do more research on all this stuff, because the way that it affects the brain and the neurotransmitters and everything, like, that could very well be an addiction. You know what I mean? That's why people are so addicted to their phones, because that damn dopamine.